This is a live English voiceover of the Parayan that is going on, Parayan, detailed study of Aptavani 13. And we are going to go into the 5th session of the Prakruti on the 3rd day of the Parayan of Aptavani 13 on the 13th of September 2015. And this is the morning session, the first session in the morning, which will now commence soon with the heading, Who has attachment and abhorrence in this? This is on page 80 of the iBook of Prakruti that has been shared with some of you. It is the iBook of Prakruti, and some routine announcements are being given right now as this is happening live here in Simandar city. So, Ama raag-dwesh kaun hai? Who has attachment abhorrence in this? And this is page 21 in the Gujarati book of the Aptavani. 13, Aptavani 13, page 21. So it's just about midnight here in the US, and we see the car of the Gnani coming from Simandar city, Vatsalya, towards Dada Nagar Hall to our right, as Mahatmas are lined up on the right side, both sides, to get his darshan. License plate GJ means Gujarat, and a few Aptaputras and Aptakumaris and Kumaris are there waiting for him. Apta Sinchan boys, the Gnani comes out. Some people waiting there to see the Gnani. Enters the hall. This is the 13th of September there, the morning session. Going up the stage, taking off his shoes, approaching Lord Simandar. Namo Arihantanam. Oh my Lord, I am as absolutely pure as you are. May I come to realize that. As flowers are being offered to the Lord, and the highest namaskars to the Lord from our Gnani and from all of us. Moving over to Lord Sri Krishna, the Gnani, who has given the exact science of the Prakruti that is separate from the Purush, the self. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And to Shiva, the symbolic representation of all who have become the embodiments for the salvation of the world. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivoham, Shivoham, I am Shiva, I am Shiva. And to our Gnani Purush Dadashri, who for all practical purposes is our Tirthankar Bhagwan, Namo Arihantanam. Moving over to the left side of the stage, to Ma Amba, representing the naturalness of the Prakruti, which is what we are all trying to achieve in this very lifetime, without any ego or kashais, and to Ma Niruma, who has compiled all of these Aptavanis for the world. This July, in July of 2002, she had unveiled Aptavani 13 in Chicago, and we are on the third day of the Parayan or the detailed study of it, and to Ma Padmavati Devi, who protects everyone on the path of liberation. Jai Satchidanand. As we turn, along with the Gnani, to face all these Mahatmas, easily about 10,000 Mahatmas in front of us. As Dada Bhagwan Nasim Jajikar Ho is being sung. as we await the resumption of the Parayan, and we say our Gnani, hello, Jai Sachidanand, the awareness of the eternal is bliss. I bow to the absolute uh, Lord, Paramatma, who resides within all of you with oneness and deep devotion. Jai Sachidanand. Were you able to do the Samaik yesterday? I am this and I am not this. I am the pure soul and I am not this Prakruti. That the bliss increase, right? Everybody says yes. This is the ultimate talk. This is the ultimate. You see, this body complex will continue to do what it wants to do, and I am not this. You see, we are not to change the Prakruti at all. We do not need to do anything. We need to remain in the absolute purity, the Shuddhatva, the Shuddha Dasha of our state, the Shuddha state that we are. We cannot change anything in the relative. If we remain in our relative, then its echo will go into the relative only. If you remain the pure one, then everything will be done automatically. Page 21 in Gujarati book. Who has attachment abhorrence in this? Page 80 of the Prakruti I book. Questioner: the soul is devoid of attachment abhorrence, raag-dwesh. Now, how can this Prakruti become without attachment abhorrence? When will this happen? What is the sequential order of this? Dadashri says gross. The soul Prakruti does not have any attachment abhorrence at all. Puran-galan intake is the nature of the Prakruti. It is only the ego that does the attachment abhorrence. It attaches to that which it likes and it abhors that which it dislikes. You see? Prakriti is in its nature. Would it be cold in winter or not? Yes, it would be. When the ego does not like cold, it creates abhorrence. Some people really enjoy cold weather, do they not? Dadashri says that is how it is. The Prakriti will feel cold in winter time and hot in summer time. It is the ego that does the raag-dwesh. Once the ego leaves, the raag-dwesh is gone. So, yes, the ego arises out of ignorance, you see, Gnan. And so then, okay, these people are not doing anything. It is so hot. How can we be here in such a hot gathering? How can we even sit here in such a hot area? And then everybody's, it would be better. It would have been better if we were sitting in our gigantic hall, the gigantic hall, which is another hall in the city, which accommodates about 2,000 to 3,000 people only. And so when something very good, you see, and then when something very good comes, he says, yes, this is very good. This is my problem. And if his chit goes into the Dadavani, then he will not be interested in the hot or the cold nature of the body only. So the chit then the chit and the vrutis then get focused into this talk of the Dadavani only. And it's ego is owner of that which it doesn't like or like. Ego does not like or dislike, but if you remain separate from the ego, then it doesn't matter whether the like or the dislike does not affect you. Questioner: so after attaining this Gnan, the Prakriti automatically returns to its naturalness, sahajta, does it not? The other 3 years after attaining Gnan, Prakriti gets separated, but it has remained in the form of discharge, you see. It will continue to discharge slowly and steadily. That which has been charged will indeed get discharged. It will discharge in the absence of the living I am Chandulal ego automatically. That is what is called Vyavasit. When the living ego is gone, Dada uses the word dhime dhime, means slowly and gradually. Oh, we want our discharge to finish up. No, if you have just eaten your food, it is not going to get discharged soon. It will take its own time before it comes out, does it not? Discharge ego will give its effect. But the living ego is that I am Marcia, I am Eunice, that is the living ego. But you see, I am pure soul means there is the discharge ego, but that is, I am pure soul, that means the only thing that is in operation is the discharge ego of the Prakruti. Discharge ego is the owner of the Prakruti in after the Gnan Vidhi, you see. Questioner: Prakruti, dependent on ego or Vyavasthit. Are Prakruti and Vyavasthit the same thing, Dada? Dada, she says, your Prakruti is under the control of Vyavasthit, and an Agnani is the ignorant of the self. Prakruti is under the control of the ego. What does under the control of the ego mean? It may even act crazy. Man with active or charged ego, ahamkari, will not be controlled at all, even by the Vyavasthit, will he? Your ego is gone, so Vyavasthit remains for you. Do Vyavasthit and Prakriti have any relation? Tadashi says, of course there is. Whole Prakriti is only Vyavasthit. Such Prakriti is not false. Vyavasthit means that 98 will follow 97. It is also Vyavasthit when 98 will not be followed by 90. It will come as it is suited. Questioner, so is there some difference between Prakriti and Vyavasthit? Tadashi says, a lot of difference. Vyavasthit means there's a lot of difference. Vyavasthit means carries out the work, and Prakruti keeps dissolving. In English, I call it Vyavasthit, scientific circumstantial evidence. It brings together evidences. This is SCE, means it brings together, and then and Prakriti is on simply it is under the control of scientific circumstantial evidences, and you see, and the discharge karma will automatically will follow one after the other. You see, and the Prakriti keeps on getting dissolved or emptying. Questioner, somebody asking. It is from 97 you come 98 only. You see, when a little boy gets born, he does not have teeth, but by the time he's 7 years old, he has got all his early initial teeth are gone, and by the age of 7, all the teeth are already there. Even an American child also has the same thing. Indian child also has the same thing. Everybody has got all the children all over the world by the age of 7 have got the permanent teeth, and the milk teeth are gone. So the sparrows of India build the same kind of nest as the sparrows of Brazil or the sparrows of US. How do they say? We understand this through Facebook, however, it says Deepak Bhai, but they all look at it, look the same way. This is all the natural construct only. This is all exactly everybody get white hair, no? After initially, slowly the black hair become white. When he's a young man, all the hair are black, but later on the gray hair start coming, right? All the hair is black initially, and then slowly they become gray, and then they become white, and then it falls off, and then it goes away. See, questioner: if Prakriti keeps dissolving, so in this own life only it was 97 to 98. In the last life, supposing in the last life it was 200 degrees. Now the spiritual degrees are not under SCE. The karma that was caused, that will be under the influence of Vyavasthit. You see, supposing he had filled 2,000 liter in the tank. I see this, but if you all that, so the tank will start decreasing from 19 feet to 15 feet slowly. While filling, it may get filled up all of a sudden. However, emptying, it takes its own time. When its own time space event happens. So the bhava, it depends upon everybody. Everybody has got the suj, but the degree of the spiritual awareness, the real degree really only happens after the Gnan. It begins 300 degrees, and at 345 he becomes at 300 becomes the Mahatma. 345 he becomes the Gnani, and then at 356 he becomes like our Gnani Purush. You see, so like. You need to know at what level you need to go increasing. You need to know where you want to go. How can I move forward in my degrees as my own awakened awareness? That is more important. Where am I in all of this? What is this Prakruti? How can I really be aware of this Prakruti? This is a very special event so all day long, once you have understood this, then all this year that goes by, you need to be in the Purusharth, the progress of the self of how to be in increasing degrees from 300 to 360 degrees. The questioner, if Prakriti keeps dissolving, so then it would Would it not get destroyed? Yes, the other says it is being destroyed. Now it is will start getting undergoing nirjara, discharge or dissolution. New karma is not bound after attaining this Gnan, and old karma keep dissolving. They keep discharging. Nothing new is being charged. As long as there is the awareness of I am the doer, new charging was occurring, and as long as Vyavasthit is the doer, his charging ceases. Then only this charge continues. Suffering, the effect, Prakruti, suffering Prakruti is Vyavasthit. Creating Prakruti is not Vyavasthit. Cause Prakruti is not Vyavasthit. Giving rise to a new one is not Vyavasthit. One will continue to give rise to a new Prakruti if he does not have Gnan or knowledge of the self. Prakruti will not arise at all if one has Gnan. Causes disappear. Questioner, Dada, Prakruti is an effect, is it not? Dadarshi says, yes, Prakruti is an effect. You cannot say that it is only effect. Effects and causes both attributes are there in the Prakruti. Besides causes, the rest of the part is effects. That is why we stop the causes, and that is why we tell you that it is Vyavasthit. It cannot be called Vyavasthit if causes continue. You see, Prakruti means the stock has been created and in the past life. The Chandu is discharging, but you see, then again, if you say I am Chandu, then you see a new causal body is formed, and then anger, pride, deceit, and greed happens, and that is a new Prakruti that discharges. The causal Prakruti then will discharge as an effect Prakruti, and so Prakruti means both cause and effect Prakruti. But for Mahatmas, because there is no cause Prakruti, there is only the discharge Prakruti that is left, and that is called Vyavasthit. You see, cause charging Prakruti is not called Vyavasthit. Only the discharging Prakruti is called Vyavasthit. You see, by causing Prakruti, the subtle subatomic particles get attracted, and that is called the causal Prakruti. That say whatever was stock was created in the past life, it is now manifesting, and anything felt today will manifest in the next life. That is called Prakruti. Next heading comes Prakruti is like ready fireworks. It is whatever you have filled, only that will come out. Say there is a small firecracker, a spinning firecracker with hissing sound, and a large firecracker in your fireworks or celebration. Will they lose their nature when they are set alight? Prakriti means a kindled or ready to fire thing. You do not have to kindle it now. When the time is right, it will be ablaze. When will it then stop? No. There are different types of fireworks on for the 4th of July or for the National Day celebrations in Brazil or in Germany, whatever. So there is there is a kind of fireworks that sparkles. The another one, it makes a big sound and a big blast. Another one gives a big light, etc. Another one flies up into the air. All of these are there. We don't have to know, depending on its timing, space, intent. You see, and this fireworks is, this is a very beautiful example of fireworks. See how different different prakrutis will alight and set as blaze. When a time is right, it will be a blaze. When it will stop, if it is the nature of a spinning firework, it will may enter your loose dhoti, lower garment, and if it's the nature of that of a cracker, then it will blow up with a blast. And if it is in the nature of a sparkler, then it will sparkle. So it will fire on the basis of its nature. Large firecrackers blow up with a bang, but if you mistakenly fill it up with the powder of a spinning, hissing firecracker, it will fire like a spinning, hissing one. If it gets into your dhoti, how is it the fault of the poor man who lit it? He wore clothes appropriate for firing crackers, and you believe that a firecracker would blast. However, here it's not a cracker, it has been filled with the hissing, spinning powder, so it will display the nature of the spinning firecracker and it may get in between your pants. Will a cracker filled with sparkler blow up? No, therefore this is like the powder that was charged. This is the powder that was charged that has been changed. So what? So depending on the nature of the powder that was filled in the Prakruti, it will behave accordingly when it is discharging, and its conduct will be appropriately like that. So what can, how can, how? So that is how it reaches the intellect. Can the internal powder be changed? So the mind and intellect, why did this happen? Why did this happen? Well, no, this is how it was filled in a previous life. When it was manufactured, the wrong kind of stock, that is a kind of stock that was filled, and therefore it exploded in this way. Can the internal powder be changed? If workers manufacturing the fireworks are too busy talking when they were packing the powder at the factory, they may pack the wrong powder, and that is how they end up. Then thinking that you are lighting a cracker, it will fire like a spinning, hissing firecracker and get into your clothes and burn them, and people will complain, hey, how did this happen? How did this happen? Hey, that is the way it is. It is Kali Yuga, the era of the time, lacking unity of mind, body, and speech. This is how it is. So we have this is Kali Yuga is like this, Kali Yuga is more like a garden. In Satyuga, it was more like a farm where all the flowers were of the same variety. Whereas now in Kali Yuga, you have hundreds of different kinds of flowers and different kinds of plants. The results will be depending upon, you see, and now now it has got computerized. So at least when its own time, it will give its own results. You cannot change it. You cannot change it. You cannot. You can only see it separate, but you cannot change it. You cannot change it. That is how the Prakruti is. Prakriti, Prakriti cannot be changed. However, its causes can be changed. If Prakriti is binding vengeance and revenge, you can change the underlying cause, and therefore you can change the underlying bhav or the view or the intent, and the result will be different. But you cannot change the Prakriti that is discharging. This now the next one. So Dimple Pai is asking this question. You see, does it have any connection with the lack of unity between mind, body, and speech? No, 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 no. The mind, body, and speech are discharging. You see, you can say he's such a noble man, but how come he may be very noble and donating a lot of money, but if he goes to an expensive restaurant, he might steal a knife or a silver fork. You see, so this is how, and he may be talking anyway. He may be talking big about sexuality and absence of sexuality like brahmacharya, but when he's on, he's enjoying sex on his own or on the internet, etc. So you never know. It depends upon what was filled in the Prakriti. That is how it is. I mean, the lack of unity in mind, speech, and body is a different thing altogether. But in Satyug, it is of one continuous thing only, whereas here it changes. You see, in Kali Yuga, it could be very nice and quiet for 2 or 3 or 4 months, and all of a sudden he or she will explode with anger or with deception. See? So you never know what was filled in the Prakriti. It is highly controversial, and it appears different, and what comes out is differently. She may look very, 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 very smart and good woman, but you don't know what is happening in her internal state. This is how it is. So therefore, we for once that I am not this Prakriti. That is also a very simple equation. I am not this Prakriti called Marsha. I am not this Prakriti called Eunice. I am not this Prakriti that called this Marlows. We should not have any, even though we have our own truth. If even if you're not insisting, the other person will find it at fault. So you never know how the other person will take it, because whatever is, it belongs to the Prakriti. We just have to settle the file with equanimity, and you have to tell Marcia, or you have to tell Eunice, or Katya, or Nada to do Pratikraman. That is all. You should not have to have the goal. You should not have the sense that, oh, why did this happen? Why this? It should not have happened. No, no, you do not need to worry about it. No, no, no. You're trying to help the other person, but in all of a sudden, he or she will kick you and say, get away from here. So if somebody is burnt on his skin, if you try to blow on, because you're trying to help that person, and if you blow air through your mouth, it hurts the other person. Say, get away from me, I'm burning. So it is important that you could just need to tell, please do Pratikraman file 1, just tell file 1 to do Pratikraman, and then externally you just have to make the best adjustment possible. That is all. And it belongs to the Prakriti. You cannot make anything else. Now chapter 1-3 now on page 88. It's Prakriti unfolds as it was bound. Prakriti has attraction, asakti, questioner. There is conviction of I am Shuddhatma after attaining Gnan, but attraction, asakti that exists does not suddenly go away, does it? Rather, she says Prakriti has attraction. Purush does not have attraction, the self. Once Purush, asakti belongs to the Chandubai, the non-self. You see, Prakriti, you are the pure soul. Chandubai gets attracted to things, you see. Chandubai, Shuddhatma, pure soul is the Purush. Marcia, Juliana has attraction. You do not have attraction. Once Purush becomes separate, he continues to do only Purusharth, progress of the self, and Prakruti is considered the one with attraction or asakti. Prakruti keeps being attracted. Purush and Prakruti, the self and the non-self complex, should become separated. Separate. No one can separate them for you. Once in a while, once in a million years, there is a Gnani Purush present, and he will separate them for you. Until then, one has to keep doing everything indeed and the himself. That other way, when we separate the two, then the self, the Purush, will remain in its nature as the self, and the non-self, the Prakruti, is the nature of the non-self. Prakruti is in attraction, and the Purush is the Norseer. So Dada stops you from the touch point. The one who is in Garvaras and attraction, the Garvaras means that's tasting the sweet juice of doership. The one who is in doership is not you. This is only happens once in a million years only, when such an Akram Vignani like our Gnani Purush Dadashri is there, then it happens. But in the Kramic path, we have to let go of this, we have to let go of that. You see, in the Kramic path, the ego is there for I have to get rid of this, I have to get rid of my anger, I have to get rid of my pride, I have to get rid of my deceit, I have to get, and slowly, one by one, you have to empty everything or every item in the shop. Whereas in the Akram Vignan, the Dada lifts up and says, this is not your shop, get out. This is the shop of Katya, this is the shop of Marcia. Just get out and be done with it. You don't have to be worried about emptying each one of the stock that is in the shop one by one and trying to get rid of it. So that is how we become free. Therefore, we become free very speedily. After giving such Gnan, we separate the two, and Purush and Prakruti are separate. So one becomes a Purush, P capital, and Purush is with Purushartha. There is so much, some Purusharth can be done in this, progress to the self, Purusharth. The meaning of the word Purush is Purusharth. And you don't have to do anything. All you need is the awareness and the understanding only, and the Nishya, which is this capital. I am not this Prakruti, I am not this body complex. Even if there is a 200-pound junk or weight in the Prakriti, you don't have to worry about lifting it or changing it or extracting it or improving it or taking it out. You do not have to do anything to change the Prakriti of Marcia. I am not Marcia, I am not Claudia, I am not Juliana, so I'm done with it, see? And so I am the one, infinite one, I am the one with infinite energy, I am the one with infinite bliss, I am absolutely separate from all the joint views and intents of the mind, speech, and body of Chandubai. That, and so all the Gnanvidhi sentences, and the people came looking at your Prakriti only. Hey Moa, oh you mortal one, do not see the Prakriti, see the Purush, see the soul in him. If you see the Prakriti, you will see the same old nature of his. You are not to see that. Does he not go to the toilet? Does he stop going to the toilet after attaining Gnan? Questioner, no, that will continue. Dadashri says, if he was eating a lot of kadhi soup, is he going to stop eating the kadhi, the soup? You see? So, now how will the Prakriti get spent is the question. The questioner says, you have then written that some Prakriti is of renouncing Prakriti, Tyagi Prakriti, some is of the penance, some is Prakriti is indulgent in pleasure. One has to spend up or use up the Prakriti Kapavi to attain moksha. So what does spending of the Prakriti mean? Dadashri says that is correct. It means to make your Prakriti suitable to others, become suitable and settle it with equanimity. Questioner, how can we use up or spend or kapavi the Prakriti to physical pleasures, where you Prakriti that is used to physical pleasures, vilasi, and go to moksha, liberation? That is, yes, one can go to moksha after spending it off. All that, all this is physical pleasure, is it not? Do people not eat jalebi and cheesecakes? Do they eat Hafus Alfonso mangoes? Is this not all physical pleasures? What is vilas here? These are all physical pleasures of living beings, Jeev vilas. Some vilas is very sticky and some is very little loose, you see. So the most important thing is we have to become, we have to make your Prakriti suitable to the other person, and then settle with economy. Supposing that if you have a rose plant, rose Prakriti, then you see you need to, when you try to pick up the rose, you have to make sure that you don't get stuck by the thorn that is there with the Prakriti of the rose, you see. So it's the same in the living person. Well, man, you should understand this man or a woman. There are some nice qualities like the rose, but he's also got some of the painful qualities, and therefore you have to learn how to tackle with the Prakruti, because without getting hurt by the hurtful nature of that Prakruti, you need to settle with the positive qualities of the Prakriti and make the adjustments, and therefore what is good for that Prakriti, how you need to adjust accordingly. And as you adjust to the other person, your Prakriti and the horns of your Prakriti will be used up. You see, this is one of the very nice ways of how to tackle and how to settle the other Prakriti, the other people, we all have to do it. We don't have to do it. We have to make the Prakriti to do, right? We don't have to do it ourselves. There is no doership in that. There is no doership, but there is a strong decision on your part. That is all. And if some dog, and so is, you see, so depending, I say, you see, so now if you got a leopard versus a, yeah, so if versus a dog, if you have a lion versus a dog, you know how to deal with the dog, but can you raise a stick towards a lion? You see, so if you show a stick to the dog will walk away, but the lion will not walk away. And so depending on different kinds of trees, you can know how to pick the fruit of the tree. Depending on the nature of the fruit in the tree, this is ways in which you extract the fruit of the trees. Right. If some one person is very angry, Prakriti, you can, if you do not know how to tackle the Prakriti, that how to really settle the Prakriti with that with equanimity, then you can have somebody who is better at tackling that Prakriti. He can, who is more suited to the other person's Prakriti, then send that other person to kind of take care of this thing. And if you do not have the sooj of how to take care of a file, because it's a difficult file, then you can say, "Oh, Shuddhatma Bhagwan, will you grant me the energy how to adjust to this Prakriti? I want to adjust to this Prakriti. Please." And then if you interact with the Prakriti according to the prior prayer that is given in the Charan Vidhi booklet, then it is very good. It is very important. Once you slowly you have to observe the Prakriti and study the Prakriti with observe it, and then you have to say, okay, what will you like? But otherwise, if you don't study the Prakriti, and once the raag-dwesh happens, then there is a strong opinion that happens. But if there is no opinion, and if you really understand the Prakriti and then make the adjustment, then you can be very adjusting to each other. Therefore, you need to understand the Prakriti and adjust to the other person. If two or three people are living together in the same home, then they are, and if they, then if you make, they cannot make the adjustment. The one, she complains that, oh, I have to do all the work and he never helps me. You see, and so therefore you need to, both of you really need to adjust to each other's Prakriti by really adjust, knowing and to understand that, well, what in a machinery there are different parts. There is a bearing, there is a change, there are gears, etc. But all of them are very. If everybody becomes a bearing, will a machine run? So everybody has to be. There is a shaft, there is a belt, there is a shaft, there is a rotating wheel. Everything. There are so many different parts of. There may be 3 or 4 different kinds of Prakrutis in one machine, and then there are electrical wiring, and then there are another 3. And then all you have to do is to just touch the switch, and the machine will run. The mechanically it will run. But you see, just like that machinery, this mind, intellect, ego, chit, you see, Prakriti, that is a living machinery. You should know how to really deal, how to touch that machinery. There are some people have got some very sensitive points. You want to remain from that, and otherwise you need to decide what is the nature of that Prakriti, and therefore settle that Prakriti with equanimity. You do not want to run the other Prakriti according to your own designs. You need to adjust to that Prakriti by knowing that Prakriti, by Nihadvu and studying that Prakriti. Questioner, how can one use the Prakriti to use to physical pleasures? Well, questioner, what is the difference between Adat or habit and Prakriti? Dadashri says habit is the beginning. If you do not have a habit, Prakriti will remain like that. And first, the ego makes the habit. I want to drink coffee. There is an opinion. I want to drink coffee. I want to drink coffee. And then the Prakriti then asks for it. Yes, if you go to the vow, if you go to a step where you're a thief, you're a thief, you're a thief, then the vow will reflect you're a thief, you're a thief, you're a thief. We we had we've had formed this habit of, say, smoking with the Prakruti. I want to smoke, I want to smoke, and therefore the Prakruti will say, I want to smoke, I want to smoke. Now you have to divide it and say, I do not want to smoke, I do not want to smoke. And so the Prakruti will come back. Yeah, and you have the habit, then the Prakruti will become Prakruti with that habit. When you keep asking again and again for tea, then it becomes a habit. First you make the ego makes the habit, and then it becomes a habit. Is there not a difference between making a habit and becoming a habit? Yes, the one who is making a habit can become free, and what becomes a habit, it cannot be removed. Questioner: is one not born with Prakruti carried over from last life? Mhm. And so you can once a habit has happened, smoking has happened, then use the 4 steps that smoking is wrong. In what way it is wrong? Step 2, do pratikraman every time the smoking has happened. Number 4, do pratyakyan, asking for the energies never to smoke again. Dadashri replies now. He says, if you become angry or proud or sexual or greedy or you say deceitful, you yourself have created that Prakruti. Now it is you who are responsible. And through pratikraman, there are 2 ways of clearing the Prakriti. One, the best way is gnata drashta, an overseer, and then the second one is through pratikraman. You see, through reversing from this. Is there one not born with Prakriti? Dadarshi says. Somebody is asking. Adat has already happened. Habit has happened. And then to create habit, what is the difference? Supposing, are you doing exercise every day? No, I want to do because my body is bad if I do exercise every day. If it is already happened, that means it's already in the Prakriti. And but if you have to do it every day, that means every day you have to carry yourself to the gym. If I every day I have to, that means you have to form a habit versus the habit has been formed. Once a habit has been formed, if you don't go to the gym or if you don't take a walk, you will not feel good, you see. So it is a habit. So the habit is formed. Actually, it is formed. Actually, really, the habit has been formed at the causal level, and the effect. Then it is there is a cause and effect relationship between any habit that has been formed and the habit that expresses. Yes, sir. It appears that you are drinking and smoking in wrong company in this life, but this is was it behind it was the causes that were laid in the last life. Oh, it'll be good if I am in such and such a company and I smoke, and therefore the habit has been formed with the wrong knowledge, and then it comes into an effect. It's the cause and effect relationship. You see? It's the self creates the causes, and the effects are seen in the discharging Prakriti. Yeah. Supposing we keep on asking, yes, at the subtlest level, it is actually at the spiritual level all these habits have been created at the subtle level in the last life, and it is discharging in this life. That is all. It appears as if the habits have been created in this life, but it is not so. You see, it is all both. It is discharging the creation. Questioner: is one not born with Prakriti? The other she says, yes, you are born with it, and it is from the time you are born. That does not mean that you have come with it at the gross level. When you are born, the Prakriti is in the form of Parmanus or subatomic particles, and is set up in the form here as the life unfolds. You see, then it comes into gross discharge. Subtle discharge is there, and then first discharge. Supposing there is a huge big tree, you see, it's called, huge big oak tree. You see, it is only a small seed when it is there, but in that seed lies the entire blueprint of a tree that will become 150 to 250 feet high, and circumference 100 feet in circumference. But you see, yes, yes, yes. So now, depending on so all of this is in part in the seed, and then in effect it becomes a huge oak tree or a word tree or whatever. In the same way, it is so from human being. You see, you know, yes, yes. Some person gets married 4 times in his Prakriti. He has caused the creation of getting married 4 times in the causal level, and therefore he gets married 4 times in his discharge. So we have to make your Prakriti suitable to the other person, and then we have to settle the file with equanimity. It says what so to discharge the Prakriti means correctly means to, so this is how you avoid kasha is kasha. You see, you do not adjust yourself, but you make the other person do according to your will. That means you are Prakriti Mai. You see, you do not adjust to others, and you have it your way through yourself. You see, in the same way. So if you supposing you're very flexible and adjustable with everyone, then your Gnan is such a high level. Therefore, you are Sarad, SARAD. You are inflexible. As correction, you are very straightforward and easygoing, and you are adjusting to everyone. Easily adjustable is called Sarad. The knowledge is very critical. I want to adjust myself with everyone. I want to be suitable to the other person and bring about a solution. I do not want to be willful. I do not want to be insistent. I do not want to be inflexible. You see, but it all depends upon the knowledge one has at the causal level, you see, and then it comes into effect. And if one continues to adjust, yes, but is it not said that even if you have got a crazy guru, by remaining sincere to the crazy guru, then all your kashais will go away. So be sincere to one guru, spiritual master, even if he is crazy, then this will make you take adjustments, and by making adjustments, your prakriti will automatically become kashai free, and it is one of the best things. So that is why you serve a guru, that the same thing. And this we are all giving service to the work of Dada. We are making the adjustments, and the horns of our Prakruti, the ego, the sharp edges of our Prakruti get broken away and smoothen up, and therefore we can. So Dadashri has given fantastic sentences. Adjust everywhere, avoid clashes. Whatever has happened is justice, and the fault is of the sufferer. Fantastic keys of the Gnani Purush Dadashri, so that the Prakriti becomes adjustable to in these worldly interactions. Okay. Now the heading is no changes in the style of Prakriti. Questioner, how can we make the nature of the Prakriti loosen its hold? This is because I know that is this nature of Prakriti is such a thing that it is bondage. For example, one may have the habit of eating spicy or eating sweet foods, which does not allow him to follow some discipline. The other says, whether it is outside or within the discipline, Prakriti will give its fruit. It may have gone beyond the limits of the set discipline or Niyam, but it is all discharge, is it not? Therefore, the point is not that it remains or does not remain within the boundary of its discipline. The point is that you should see it as it is. Whatever is the nature of the Prakriti, that is what is constantly displaced. What does discharge mean? It is which Prakriti, it is that which Prakriti continues to display as its nature. Whatever has been charged continues to discharge, and this body has been charged in such a way that at the age of 80, he will work as he did when he was young. His style will not change. One can know from his walk that this is such and such a man, and nothing can be changed in these three charged batteries of the mind, speech, and body. Changes in them can be made only in the next life. Their worldly knowledge is of use, not our Gnanji capital of the self. Changes will happen according to that. Uh, I say our knowledge, G capital knowledge, totally fries up the seeds, and therefore that seed will be ineffective. It will not create a new Prakriti, you see. But you see, for the human beings, you see, who do not have Gnan of the self, then they are constantly trying to move from the Ashubh, the hurtful, towards the Shubh, which is the helpful, etc. You see, now supposing, he has gone away from his aunt for 20 years into another country, but if 20 years later he hears the voice of his aunt on the phone, he says, oh, that's my aunt, and catches, that is how it is. So the Prakriti is exact. The frozen Prakriti, it gives its own effect for the whole year, and this is exact discharge, that is as it happens. The style cannot change at all, you see. Changes can be more. Prakriti is with Niyam, regulated with law and boundary. And nothing can be without Niyam. The world has Niyam. Only ego is awkward without discipline. Everything else is within discipline and law. Whatever is within its related law is turned into one without discipline by this ego. One will say that he wants his hot tea, and then when the tea gets cold while he's talking to someone, hey, Why don't you quietly drink it, then do the talking? But that ego is crazy like that. The mind is not like that. The mind is always within its niyam. It is the ego that is out of discipline. The mind is in its own niyam. It will bring the thoughts, you see. And the ego has some greed, or it has got, see, the ego, it's the anger, pride, deceit, and greed. The ego moves in the direction where it is being fed, and therefore it does not pay attention to its the standard niyam or the standard regulated law and boundary, the natural. So ego is the wrong thing. It goes in all different directions. You see, the niyam is if the Prakruti likes hot tea, then it will get hot tea. If it is like spicy tea, it will get it. However, then his ego interference or the kashais interfere, and therefore he goes. He does not pay attention, and he goes in the wrong direction. You see, that is the interference of the Prakruti. Another example of the interference of the Prakruti right now here in front of us, and it gets disturbs everything. Awareness brings Prakruti within its regularity. Questioner. So if there is awareness, jagruti of the Gnan, Prakruti will automatically start coming within Niyam, regularity, natural state. Is that true? The other says Prakruti will start coming within its Niyam for you, Y capital, the awakened one. Otherwise, Gnan will not take hold. If Gnan has entered, then Prakruti will come into its natural state of regularity or Niyam. Now, if Prakruti is with regularity and discipline, then does it have any relationship to Gnan? Does a discipline and regularity filled Prakruti help our Gnan at all? There is also a sentence of Rajchandra, the Gnani Purush, before body should be in orderly regularity, speech should be Syadvad. So there is great emphasis on the Niyam. So then you also said right now that it will be good if one ate this fig within Niyam, fig fruit. That is yes, so it is good. So that regular discipline, Niyam of the Prakriti, it touches worldly interactions. So now how does that help Gnan, the knowledge of the self and the doer? That he says, so the Prakriti with Niyam helps worldly interaction, and thus it helps Gnan. But it remains without regularity, then it will not be helpful to the Gnan, will it? There should be Niyam, regularity. If it happens, it is correct. There is no insistence for it. You should not insist that there should be some regularity. So questioners, then so there are two parts. You see, a Niyamit Prakruti means it is regular and within discipline, going to bed at the right time, waking up at the right time. You see, but when the interference of the ego stops, or when the kashai stop, when there are no interference and the inward, then the Prakruti, when there is no kashais in world interactions, then the Prakruti is Sahaj. He wakes up at the right time, he eats with discipline, and he goes to the toilet and bathroom at his time, regular time. But one, it's and he says, you see, when he sees this tomato soup, I like it very much. The Prakriti will take only one bowl of tomato soup. However, the greed comes in, you see, because he likes it so much, so he will drink three, he will consume 3 bowls of soup, and that is aniyamit, or absence of the discipline there, you see. And so, because the greed came in, you see, the kashai came in, the ego came in, so it becomes aniyamit. Questioner is asking a question. How can it help? Just now. He becomes free with kasha, you see. Niyamvari Prakriti means there's a regular Prakriti, it helps Gnan, because if everything is on time, then it helps you in your Gnan, is it not? Therefore, is no interference of the ego, he is without kasha. That the whole idea is to become free from kashais. Kashai is the interference. If you are free from kashais, then there is no disturbance. Why? Someday he will eat his lunch at 2 o'clock. Sometimes he will not eat at all. Someday he will eat at 11 o'clock in the morning, his lunch. So everything gets disturbed in the body, and then he does not like the way his bowels work. He does not like the way he goes to the toilet. And these are all interferences of the Prakriti. This is called disturbed Prakriti. Whereas, does the sun comes with regularity? Does it not? The nature is so natural. It exactly rises and sets in time only, right? You see, spring, summer, winter, and fall comes with Niyam, right? Regularity. And so all the stars and the solar system is with Niyam. In the same way, the more Niyam and regularity that the body complex, then it is helpful to you in your Gnan. When it eats, you know that it will only this much, it will not interfere. Yes, it is your greed that makes you overeat, or your aversion. I don't like it. What? Khichuro, I'm not going to eat it, and then something comes very, very, And if there is bhakri, there's bread and some flat bread and some vegetable, then he will over it. And then next day, if there is khichdi kadhi only, rice and kadhi, then he will hardly touch it. So this is how it is. He has disturbed the Prakruti. And when the interference stops, then the Prakruti, you do not have to do anything to make the Prakruti regular. All you have to do is to see the Prakruti. That is, remember the yesterday Samik? It doesn't matter whatever the Prakruti it is, that is all the field. For us, it is all discharge. This particular satsang is not applicable to us Mahatmas anymore, because this is we just told us to settle the file with equanimity. Whatever the Prakruti is, you cannot now change it anymore. You just have the knowledge that there is certain knowledge. This is the Prakriti that is discharging right now as to how it was filled in the previous life, how it was set up in a previous life. It is showing its results in this life. That is all. So, the questioner says, is it also important to know what the regularity and the discipline should be? Is it not? Rather, she says, it depends on the body, does it not? One knows the Niyam that I will be able to eat only 2 rotis, okay, thin black. Having decided Niyam of 2, if the Prakruti pressures too much, then I will take half a rotli extra, says Gnani Purush Dadashri. Questioner, so in what matter should one have some regulated discipline? Dadashri says, everything. You should eat within Niyam. Then what should you do if you cannot? Then you should not start crying. You should not start crying. Eating, drinking, sleeping, are they the main things? Are they not? They're the main thing. Which will you eliminate? Everything is worth keeping within the discipline. The Niyam of nature, for example, is going to the toilet in the morning has been arranged in a regular discipline. Most nights you sleep, go to bed at 11 in the night. But now today, because you're watching TV, you watch your favorite TV show until 4 o'clock in the morning. You see, so why? Because kashai of attachment, I like it, has entered into it, and therefore it throws away the discipline. You see, the kashai of greed has entered into it. I like it. You see, no matter how good the TV program and the niyam that is, you go to bed. You see that if you had adjusted, then it helps then there will be no kashai. But if you like it too much, therefore you have entered into attachment. Attachment is a kashai, and therefore the Prakriti. But your Prakriti is so Niyam. Yes. Yeah, you see, this Prakriti is such that he likes Niyam in it. Deepak's Niyam. It is natural. I do not interfere. Whatever Deepak gets, in the morning, yes. I do not have any pole or any laziness, yes. You see, when after I wake up, I do not go to bed. After eating, I do not eat again. I do not eat that which is not good for the body. No matter what is beneficial, then that goes it. Then it will eat. The Prakriti is very disciplined. Now he is describing his own Prakriti, the Gnani. Is it good for the Prakriti? Then he will take it, but he does not interfere. Is it all? It is all part of Niyam. Yes. Does it get disturbed? Yes, it will disturb because every day there is jatra only. Every 4 days I have to go to a different home, right? And depending upon the home, I have to adjust to the different home. Do I not? The Gnani is constantly moving all over. Yes, it can be done. Why don't you? All the most important thing I have learned only to adjust everywhere. That's all. Stop interfering. Whatever is there, without finding faults, adjust and get on. I want to progress. I don't want to have the comforts of the Prakriti. Do it. I want to finish all the accounts of the Prakriti. I want to go to moksha. Settle the file with equanimity. That's all. Adjust everywhere. This is it. Like Gnani just talked about his own Prakriti. Everybody's air conditioner is different. Everybody's bed is different. Everybody's switch is wrong. Everybody's beds are different. Everybody's bathroom is different. What do I do? Do you think everybody's adjust? So I have to adjust to everybody's bathroom, everybody's bed, everybody's bed sheets, everybody's food, everybody's dining table. This is why I just adjust. Every 4th day I'm in a different home. Am I not? Yeah. Adjust everywhere and then get it work done. That's all. I wanted to ask one question. And the Prakriti that is indisciplined, which is not in regularity, uh, and so then the intellect is continuously interfering, and so supposing it sees a sample. This is how it should be. It sees a sample like yours, say for instance. This is how will it improve? No, It will not improve. Prakriti you cannot change. Just know and recognize the Prakriti. You should know that this is a painful Prakriti. It should not be there, and therefore there will be a chapter of how to change. You cannot change. The Prakriti. Local people do not change the Prakriti. They change their knowledge underlying the Prakriti. That is all. You know, you cannot enter into doership or changing of the Prakriti. Just change your knowledge as to how to tackle the Prakriti, how to really kapavvi, how to dissolve the Prakriti, how to you need to really how to adjust to the Prakriti. That is all. How you have to adjust to the Prakriti so that the Prakriti will not create any kashais with anyone. You see, but what you do, oh, I don't like it this, I don't like this kind of food, I don't like this kind of bed, I don't like this, I don't like that. You see, whatever it is, just that is all. So in talk internally, see, you don't like this food, why don't you eat the other one and just feel something in the stomach. Don't make a face, don't really complain, don't say let's go someplace else, don't say let's go out and eat into the restaurant. You see, we make the person who is not able to adjust. We make the ego that is disadjustable adjust through your knowledge. Supposing you begin to walk without shoes in this summer, you will not be able to walk initially because of your opinion, but after 2 months, you will be able to walk on the hot road because you see, you have adjusted the Prakriti. It is your opinion that is protecting the Prakriti only. Say, keep it separate. No, I cannot stand the hot temperature in the home. I need the thermostat set at 70 degrees only. I cannot stand the 74 degrees that it is there. So you are not adjusting to the Prakriti. You see, you see, because your opinion is that I cannot set the temperature at 74. I do not like this temperature 74. I do not like this. I do not like. I only like 4-star hotels. I cannot like to stay. I do not like to stay in a 2-star hotel with a simple bed and a clean bed to sleep. You see, so these are all the interferences of the ego that wants it in a certain way. Whatever the law is that whatever the Prakriti is needed, the nature will supply the Prakriti automatically. Just if you do the adjustments accordingly, then on the second or the third day, automatically whatever is needed to the Prakriti will be there for you. But the ego will say, when will I get it? When will I get it? Whatever is yours, it will come in front of you. That is all. But if you insist or if you go with the ego, then you're going to create your own antarai or obstructions against that which is going to come to you naturally. Therefore, do not create obstructions. You see, instead adjust to that which is available to you. Do not blame others. Do not. In 2 or 3 days, it will automatically come to you. Whatever it is, like if it's something which is very salty, and if it is does not have enough salt, I mix the two and adjust. I mix the two food. I just have to cheat the tongue only. I would rather cheat the tongue rather than to fight with the person who has made the food, says the Gnani, our Deepak Bhai. I just mix different tastes so that it becomes suitable for the Prakriti of Deepak, so the food goes in without making a face or without. Yes, this is what I guess, this is the only way that adjustments will come in. If you make, because if we are making the habit, and then the habit arises in the Prakriti. Therefore, what we are doing is that this is how it should be, and this is how it should not be there. We are not trying to change. We do not have to correct the Prakriti. We are just trying to change improve the causes behind the Prakriti. We cannot change the effect in the Prakriti that is unfolding. But therefore, supposing the speech of the Prakriti, the ego is such that it is very hurtful to others, then you have to change the cause underlying behind such hurtful speech. And you cannot change the conduct of the speech, the hurtful speech. It is but find out the causes, and you see the 9 columns are the best ways to change the underlying causes of this. Supposing you see the negative of the other person, then you just have to continuously change it to say, no, she is a good lady, she's a very good person. You see, then you have to change your underlying causes by through the 9 columns only. You see, that's it. So if she is negative, then you should just always see the positive in her, and by keeping it separate, you just continue. You're not trying to stop the revolving fan by sticking a pole into it, but find out where the switch is, and then just touch just make turn the switch off automatically. The fan will rotate, stop rotating. So then there is Then initially there is a regular Prakruti that gets up in the time, wakes up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then everything, all the thing is done. And there is another Prakruti that wakes up at 8:30 in the morning. And you see, then there is a Prakruti that is another that you get adjusted. But you see, but then you see, but cannot be in the regularity. It does, when there is time for if there is no sonary prabhati, so then like, oh, there is no 8 o'clock. I can get up late at 1 hour late. You see, but with that, so supposing we are trying to adjust the Prakruti so that what is the difference in the Prakruti? You just have to understand that your Prakriti likes to get up late and some other Prakriti likes to get up early in the morning. That is, that all Prakriti is different. Ultimately, thing is that all Prakritis are different. Then the last law is that adjust to the suitability of the other person, so that they saw that at 7:30 will the Prakriti. But if you 5:30 there is no sunlight, but by 7:30 the sunlight is there, right? You see, and if you have to go to when you have to take a flight at 7 o'clock in the morning, will you not get up at 4:30 in the morning? That is how it is. So you without disturbing it anything. But to every yes, if there is no disturbance, then automatically the Prakriti will be natural. If this and it will take the breakfast at 9:30, and it will take us. If you don't have to make any adjustments, then let the Prakriti be make it. But when there is interaction with other person, then you have to make the adjustments in the Prakriti so that it suits the needs of the other people that it is interacting with. But you see, we do not want to force into it. Just let it be natural. When there is no adjustments to be made with other people, then let it be unfold accordingly. But when you have to take flights or when you have to keep appointments, then you have to let it get up within discipline, is it not? That is how it is. And so supposing there's no other work, if there is no other work, then we remain in beautiful vidhis of dada. Supposing there is a setting of Gnan on the inside, and therefore, so with it, that I want to adjust to everybody's, I adjust the Prakriti. uh, Depending on the level of my own stage of Gnan, I want to settle the Prakriti with equanimity. But supposing I have the awareness, because let us kind of do that is which is suitable for every bird. But he is more into taking the Pudgal Sukh. You see, Pudgal Sukh means the bodily pleasures, and therefore then, but instead of 6 o'clock, no. There is the timing is not important. The discipline is not. No, and this is also a law, is it not? That if you ask, yes, see, at 8 o'clock there, it's 11 o'clock in Singapore. It's 11 o'clock when it is 8 o'clock in Bombay. You see, and they you see, like so it is like that. You're adjusting according to Prakriti. You get up when the sun rises. You see, and it's so. And if he gets up very late, after coming to some other cities, then that he is. We have to adjust because it depends on where he has come from. Because he's in jet lagging. You see, these are all Prakritis that are there. We do not disturb the Prakriti. The Prakriti means we adjust it such so that the other person does not get hurt by the Prakriti. That is all. We are not hanging on to our horns, sharp horns that hurts the Prakriti, other people's Prakriti. We just want to adjust ourselves so that it does not hurt another human being. And see, regularity of Prakriti should be that it helps you avoid from getting into kashais. Supposing he is not into Pudgal Sukh. Pudgal Sukh means, so supposing there is no Sonari Prabhat tomorrow, then tonight I know that I can get up 2 hours late because I like to sleep more. That is Pudgal Sukh. You just have to settle that. I, so but but instead of doing sleeping 6 hours in the night, he's sleeping 5 hours and he's doing vidhis. You see, it is not true. You see, the law is that he wakes up at 8 o'clock. You see, and Deepak gets up at 6 o'clock. Dimple gets up at 8 o'clock, and I accept that this is the law that Dimple gets up. Deepak says that the Dimple gets up at 8 o'clock, and you see, and I have the vision that that is the law. If he wants to change, that is up to him. This is how he's progress. But whatever for me, I adjust everywhere, and whatever happens is correct. That is, every Prakruti's timing is different, you see. We have seen different types of Prakriti. Some, there are different kinds of firecrackers of the Prakriti. We need to remain the knower and seer. Because we are not remaining the knower and seer, therefore, so we let us understand that just be the knower and seer. Do not try to improve the Prakriti of the other person. Then automatically you will become free. This is the law. You know, if somebody is speaking very slowly, that is a niyam. And yesterday they were speaking very fast. That is also called niyam. Yeah. Yesterday, yesterday he was going very fast. You see, but whatever he was reading very fast, that is also niyam. Today somebody is reading very slowly, and that is also niyam. Niyam means the natural regularity of the prakriti. You see, if somebody is taking his own time, he takes 2 hours at the dinner table. Somebody finishes off the lunch in 10 minutes. So what is this? So these are two different prakritis in their own niyam. Supposing we are sitting on the dinner table and the lady of the home is serving food to me, then they say, you just take whatever, and whatever is needed. You see, the normality is means where you just take whatever is comes and then finish the food. In terms, you don't enter into what you like and don't what you don't dislike, and therefore avoid. That is called interference. You see, whatever is being served, yeah, you eat a little bit. You see, it does not increase this. If he his level is enough, and then he stops. The amount he eats, that's enough. That is natural. You see, it becomes natural. He does not reject that which he does not like and takes more of what he does, avoids what is he likes. He takes what it is, but the amount that is taken in is in a regularity. That is all. He doesn't overeat or he does not undereat. He just, and you can say whatever was bound, which will. What about the variations in this? You see, just you understand that now. You see, so in other words, all the different habits are in the life will happen at different times of life. You drink coffee and then switch to tea, and then now you start taking alcohol, and now you stop taking alcohol, etc. This is all parts of what was filled in the prakriti, and it is deciding. You should not have any insistence about this way or this way. You should just know that this is right and this is wrong. That's about it, and accept it as it is. That is the filled stock. That is all. What in Akram, in this Niyam is more applicable to the Kramic step by step. These people who are disciplined, the monks and etc., they get up at certain time in the morning, and by 9 o'clock, by 8 o'clock, by 7 o'clock, they are on the beach doing the yoga, etc. Yeah, right. But you see, but yeah, but for us, it is niyam is dharma and aniyam is adharma. And beyond the niyam and aniyam, beyond the regularity and the lack of regularity, is called akram vignan. You see, in other words, we are beyond discipline and lack of discipline. We are beyond regularity and the lack of regularity. That is akram vignan. We are the pure knower and seer of all that is happening. That is all. At whatever time the prakriti is discharging, it will discharge and let it be so. We do not really, you see, sometimes what was filled in the bag when you went to the supermarket, that which was filled first, it will come out last, will it not? On top of potatoes, then you put tomatoes, and then on top of tomatoes you put some light vegetables, and then you put a light bread on top of it, etc. So when you come home, bread will come out first, and you see, and so the karma of childhood will come out first, and then the karma of old age will come out last. In this prakriti, we are not trying to paints anything new. Whatever is there will come out. That is all. And then you said that right now, supposing we do the interference and ask for it now, then we are creating obstructions for us. What is the difference? Everything that you ask for, it is sahaj only. It's natural only. The interference. Supposing you'll get whatever you are, but if you say when you interfere, I want it, why are you not giving it to me, and why are you bickering on it, then now we are interfering, and therefore your interference is your obstruction. You will get it, but your whatever is in your account, you are going to get it, whether you do the kashais or not kashais, you'll get it. But if you say, why haven't you made my breakfast, why haven't you made my tea, make my tea, I expect tea, now that is your interference. You see, it was coming to you naturally. Why do you stop? Why, this was the topic of Guru Purnima in Phoenix. Stop interfering. Stop interfering. Do not interfere. your hair is growing even if you do not want it to grow, is it not? Everything in this body is happening naturally. You see, you have shaved within the 2 days. The moment you have shaved, you see, from that second onwards, hair is coming out on your beard, you see. And so why don't you accept that which is happening to this body complex you are naturally? But otherwise, it is the middleman, it's the ego that is makes all the disturbance. The body will receive. The body is not the complainer. The body complex is not the complainer. It's the ego which says, I like this, I don't like this. Why is it here? And that enters into attachment and abhorrence, likes and dislikes, and further anger, deceit, and pride arises. You see, the more important is to say, it is not a question of whether you need to increase, whether there's morality or lack of morality, whether being honest or dishonest. You just see what is happening, and then adjust the right knowledge that this is how it should be. Accept what is happening, and then change your underlying knowledge. You cannot change your knowledge, but what right now is very simple. Make sure that nobody. You settle the file with equanimity, and if that does not happen, then do pratikraman for any hurt that may have happened. That is all this is. So agnas are the most important for akram vignan. Now, so everything you eat within niyam, and what should you do if you cannot? You should not start crying. You see. So in what matter should one have regularity, discipline? Everything you should. You should. The nature of Prakruti is regular discipline. Are they two separate things? That is, they are different. When one becomes habituated, it is called nature or swabhav. Question: all that is habituated is swabhav, you said. So to move from the swabhav to niyam, regular discipline, is some kind of purusharth? Question: that is, swabhav, nature is always within niyam. A person who does not like to eat that which is sour will not eat it, even if we give him 100 rupees. And the one who likes to eat sour things, he will pay 5 rupees so that he can eat something sour. Yeah, the questioner: yes. So is that called the nature of the Prakruti? The other Shri says, Prakruti Swabhav, that is, all these are called Swabhav. And is Swabhav according to Niyam, regulated order in it? The other Shri says, yes, it is according to Niyam. Questioner: so now to arrange the amount, how much sour to eat and how much not to eat, is that called Niyam? That is all, it all is Niyam. That is our work. That is our Gnan working. It is called. So it is that is our Gnan working, you see. In our own knowledge, we need to know what is beneficial to the body of Eunice or Marcia or Katya or Nada, you see. That is, we just need to know the Gnan. When the Gnan is present, then the work will happen in the Prakruti. We do not need to manipulate the Prakruti or change, just keep the Gnan present. The circumstances will arise in the Prakruti, the adjustments will happen accordingly, you see. We need to know how much to eat. How much to eat, this is all part of the Gnan. It is on the basis, if you eat too much sour things, your joints will ache, you see. So, just if it's there, then I just need to eat it when settle the file with equanimity. And you see, this knowledge, and so the knowledge and Prakriti together will give it will discharge, you see. This is all the discharging part. The knowledge and plus the Prakriti I am separate from this knowledge, which is relative. This is Deepak's Buddhi, Deepak's knowledge, and Deepak's Prakriti. The Marsha's knowledge, Marsha's Gnan, and Marsha's Prakriti is all part of the Prakriti only, you see. And you say, I do not need to change it this way. I do not know this. What will happen to my Gnan if I do? These are all interferences only. You just keep the Prakriti separate, settle it in the Gnan only. Settle the Prakriti, it will all naturally happen. It will happen naturally. You won't have to do anything for it. Yes, in in the Kramic path, people are already renouncing things, you see, when they are in certain fixed disciplines, you see, regulated discipline. But that is not what is happening in Akram Vignan for us. Now, the awareness in front of the Prakriti. Now, this is very practical. What is the awareness in front of the Prakriti? This is practical matter. Questioner: you keep. Are we taking a break? Yes, we are taking a break now. All right, so let's take a break. Let us take a break now. Break is being taken on page 102. All right, of 3. Okay, there's audio. Somebody is asking, and Deepak Bhai cannot hear, and we also cannot hear the audio. I cannot hear the audio. Let me see. You talk about adjusting everywhere. I cannot hear the question very well here. And then 12 to 15, there is going to be a retreat, yatra at Palitana with Pujyashri. Pujyashri go to Palitana. Palitana is a very holy place in Gujarat, and thousands of special derasars of Tirthankars there. And just very good news being announced for those who are participating. So 10th to 12th, they're all going to go to Palitana. Okay, now that's the break. Jai Sachidanand.